What's up? It's the recap lunch hour. We have nothing to talk about. That's why we're doing it early. We have absolutely nothing to talk about. Cap is back. He's going to pull a Chris Collinsworth here and slide in.
Yeah, you damn right.
Yeah, he's got nothing to say. I just had to check his blood pressure after the radio show this morning to find out that it's still high. And his pulse rate is a concerning 127 right now, and that's his resting heart rate. Look, we know what happened. The Bears had an inexcusable 18-15 loss last night at Washington. I'll eat the crow first because I said last week right here there'd be no situation where Jaden Daniels plays. So I'll eat that sandwich as we speak. That's what I'm gonna have for lunch, the Jaden Daniels crap sandwich. And so yeah, I'll take. The Bears didn't lose the game though because of Jaden Daniels. That's flat out. So I don't feel that bad. We're doing it early. I got stuff to do. There's, to their credit, some of the Bears. We're going to shoot an episode here soon of Intercepted with Kevin Byard. So he was on the field for that Hail Mary. Of course, he was one of the guys that went up. Maybe he was the guy that was supposed to be the safety there. So look, let's comment away, fire away. Cap, I know, has got thoughts. I got thoughts. The fact that I was watching it in the moment, the 13-yard out prior to the Hail Mary, and this is not Monday morning quarterbacking here. I said it. I was full disclosure, picking up pizza from a local spot, Easy Street in Park Ridge, and
There's a place called Malnati's. You might want to check it out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know a guy to help out with that, you know. So anyway, picking it up, and I sit at the bar, grab a beer, waiting for it, and I tell the guy that play right there is the play of the game, and no one will talk about it. Well, everyone's talking about it because you have a head coach that says it doesn't matter, and that's insane. It doesn't matter. You don't have a quarterback that can even make the throw 70 yards if you actually defend that play. And Cap, how are you, bud? Come on over here.
Hi, Guff. How are you, kid?
Yeah. Well, how are you?
I am awesome.
You're bronze.
I'm tan.
Last week I said that you'd be orange enough to match the sign in the background, which I think I was pretty much dead on for.
Pretty accurate. Dead on balls accurate, as they say in my cousin Vinny.
What's your synopsis really quick as we got people coming in? We got people talking about the White Sox. Justin on the White Sox manager. I love where your head's at, man. Like, to hell with the Bears loss. We're going to talk White Sox manager, which we will hear in a second. But yeah.
Look, I was just telling a good friend of mine that if I owned the team, I would fire Matt Eberflus. I would have fired him last night. I'm just being honest with you. When you take the field and consistently, week after week, get out-coached, you cannot keep telling me we got to focus better. We got to this better. No, sorry. This is show business, not show friends. And when you take the field in Indianapolis and you don't run Roschon Johnson on first down, you run a wildcat play. And then second down, you run Khalil Herbert. Was he active yesterday? No, that's how important he is to the franchise.
Wow.
Was he active yesterday on third down? No, he wasn't there because he's inactive because they're going to trade him off the roster. They don't even use the guy anymore. And then on fourth down, you run a read option or a jet sweep to DeAndre Swift, and he loses 12 yards. And then your coordinator, Shane Waldron, meets the media on Thursday after that game and says, we got cute. That's on me. That won't happen again. Learning experience. Well, fast forward to this game against Washington, which now you've lost the tiebreaker in the wild card scenario because you're probably not going to catch Detroit. And guess what? He gets cute again. Doug freaking Kramer. He has exactly 0 carries in his career. 0. We're going to run him. Garbage.
Thanks for your short thoughts, Cap. I appreciate the the brevity.
I can't be brief.
Yeah, the play call to Doug Kramer is the worst I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot in this town. That's saying a lot.
And then the coach.
Here's why. Here's why it's the worst I've ever seen. It's like the first 15, okay? You have a first 15, but if all of a sudden you have a kick return for a touchdown and a pick six, you're down 14-0. Your first 15 gets thrown out. It's the game dictates the script sometimes. And you had a horrific game. The offense was doing nothing. Caleb puts 2 drives together at the end of the game that are winning drives. You get down to the one, you're going to steal a game. put the damn ball in the end zone with the people who are capable of doing it. Not some cute play to the fullback trying to turn him into the fridge part 2. If you're going to do that, make that the touchdown that's going to seal the deal, like meaning you're going up 2 or 3 scores.
Well, let me ask you a question, Brian. You played football. You know football.
I do.
If you were going to decide we're not going to run Roshan Johnson, we're not going to run Travis Homer, then why did you cut Kari Blasingame on Friday if you needed a power guy in there?
I just don't. I'm not a big, like, the Bears aren't cute. Like, they're not good enough to be cute. That's the Detroit Lions.
You know what they were? They weren't cute. They were arrogant. That is a play of arrogance that it's 12-7, and you're going to run Doug Kramer? Are you kidding me?
I think guys like Steve are on. Like, unfortunately, the Bears won't launch Flus until the season's over. That's how they roll. I don't disagree with that. I think there's 2 games this season that are the Bears to me should be 6-1. I don't think it's always going to be like, it's not always about coaching, but it is about coaching. Like, players play. The players didn't execute the Hail Mary, but you can make an argument that they weren't put in position to succeed. The reason is the play before they got the Commanders within 52 yards of making that throw.
And Jaden still didn't get it all the way to the end zone.
I know that. And you're telling me that nobody on the sideline saw Tyreek Stevenson doing that crap? You're telling me not one person saw a cornerback in the corner of the end zone taunting fans so he was doing it prior to the play, obviously 4.5 seconds into the play. Not one person on the sideline was like, that's different. Timeout. Get that guy over here.
Okay, and then here's my problem. On ESPN 1000, the home of the Bears, by the way, this morning, Coach Eberflus is on with me and with Jonathan Hood. And Hoodie asked him about timeouts. And then I said to him, Coach, why not take a timeout before the Hail Mary play? And his response is, we didn't need a timeout. We had everything the way we wanted it. And I said, Coach, I got to push back on you. You had everything the way you wanted it with Tyreek Stevenson in the end zone, in the corner, talking to Commanders fans, and ESPN put a clock on it. 4.1 seconds till he turned around and went, oh, shit. And he runs back there, and now there's no backline defense because everyone's out of skew.
Yeah, and he comes in late to the play as one of the final guys trying to make a swipe at it, and he was late, of course, right? I mean, it's to say that he apologized by using a flippant tweet, to me, is showing your lack of accountability as a leader, because you have like DJ Moore this morning on your the other radio station on 670 The Score.
I was just going to reference that. He was
said that the captains are going to talk and that they're going to figure out what needs to be said because it's not over yet.
And he said he needs to address the team.
As he should.
He said, and then the front office will do whatever it is they're going to do. Because if I was Ryan Poles, I would probably make him inactive for Sunday's game. And I would not only drive the bus over him, I'd back it up. You have to send a message.
Well, I could give a damn about how banged up your secondary is. Obviously, no Brisker, and that's another thing with no Brisker and no Gordon. Randy Moss played defense on Hail Marys the bulk of his career.
That is correct.
The bulk of his career, Hall of Famer Randy Moss, who I believe actually did have an interception, played defense. Don't tell me, and you asked him this morning too. Where are the bigger guys? Where are the Cole Kmets? Where are the Keenan Allens?
Cole active for the game? Because I didn't see.
Yeah, I think that they figured out.
Target.
You mean the guy that they figured out over the 3 weeks prior to the bye? To me, this is what I told you on the phone this morning. It was like the Bears at halftime were still on the bye and realized, holy shit, we're in a football game. Like, and all of a sudden, like what happened? That's by the defense wasn't feeling that. I mean, the defense would take out the last two, play, and it's hard to do that. They are the only reason that football team was in. The Bears were going to see. I had a tweet ready to go, which is my fault as a Chicago sports fan. That was just find a way to win the football game, which they did. Boom, that's it. Like I almost hit send before the Hail Mary. Thank God. Oh. Talk about a receipt. And Dave, you agree with Cap? They forgot Kmet was on the team yesterday, and it's not. Here, Steve, this is what he says. Have him inactive but fully dressed, helmet and all, standing on the sidelines the entire game. I mean, that's what you do at the lower levels.
Correct.
You do that in Pop. I would do that at our Pop Warner team. I would do it in high school, college. Not in the pros. No, he's going to send a tweet out. It's all okay. He's going to send a tweet out.
Yeah, that's Look, Eberflus is not my cup of tea as the way he conducts himself. He's too vanilla. He's too coachy. Dan Campbell, that's my kind of guy.
You mean Dan Campbell? Hang on, the comments are pouring in here, guys, and we appreciate them. Keep them coming. You mean this Dan Campbell right here from Matthew Rooney? Dan Quinn, the second to last play made the Hail Mary possible. That guy?
That's Dan Quinn.
That's what I'm saying. You said you like Dan Quinn.
No, Dan Campbell.
Oh, Dan Campbell. My bad.
From Detroit.
I do too.
Is my kind of guy.
Me too.
I like the guy, and
I like Dan Quinn though too.
I love Dan Quinn. He interviewed for the job, and I was told by someone in the building that said, "Nah, he wasn't very good in the interview, and they really liked what Eberflus said." I would like to know, what could Eberflus possibly have said when he walks in for an interview that you go, the quote was 20 minutes in, we knew he was our guy.
Right?
What? Right? Like, what could he have possibly said? Because I've listened to every press conference and every interview this guy's done since he's been here. He's in his third year. He's not said one compelling thing.
Matt, double doink, Chris Conte, then the Hail Washington. Those are the top 3 losses in recent memory. I'm going this weekend as I live here. Bear down kind of killed my excitement. Find a way to get to 5-3.
By the way, can we correct him? Chris Conte was not at fault. Ask Alex Brown, ask Olin Cruz. It was on Julius Peppers for blowing contain on Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Now, thanks, Cap, for going back and breaking down the film of something that this, at least they had the lead in. This is what makes this one harder. Even the double doink because of the situation and the playoff game and where they were in, 12-4 with the bye.
Correct. That's
obviously, that'll live, unfortunately, forever. But to have this game sealed up and to lose it on a play that has a probability of happening, which was like 3%, which to me, I was stunned it was that high.
And if you had defended the 13-yard gain to Terry McLaurin, I'll bet you the percentage goes to 99.9.
They were a 96.3 probability, I think, to win the game prior to the 13-yard out. Actually, it was higher than that. The 13-yard out made it 96.3. Right. So they had a 3.5% chance to win the football game. It's a play that I think there are 5 Hail Marys that have been completed in the final 10 seconds to change a game, to change a result. And of course, what do we got? Great job on the call today, Cap. Ryan says, you spoke what us fans don't have the ability to do. Keep it up. Take that. There you go. I mean, and look, a lot of times it's hard. And I'll say this, it's hard. People don't want to hear it when you have a head coach on your show and he's a guest on your show you're trying to protect. There's nothing to protect today. Flus could have helped himself by saying, look, we watched the film and I watched what Tyreek did and I am pissed off. It is inexcusable. We will handle that as a staff, but that stuff cannot happen in this team.
Correct.
Or, we did have some timeouts. Looking back on it, maybe we should have reconsidered. I said yesterday, the 13-yard play, that it doesn't matter. It did. In this case, it did matter because Jaden Daniels didn't get the ball to the end zone. And maybe that was the plan, is to get the ball in front of that's the ideal throw on a Hail Mary anyways, the tip catch anyway. Putting that ball 5 yards deep in the end zone, that's an incompletion. Correct. Because you can't stay in bounds. Yeah. The guy catches it on the white chalk. So what else we got here, Cap? I mean, there's what do we got here? Andrew, Eberflus is great at grabbing defeat from the jaws of victory. How many historic blown losses can this guy have in just 2 to 3 years? He's
lost 4 games where he was a minimum 96%.
Here, I'll pull up the Adam Hogue tweet. Our friend Adam Hogue.
Yeah.
Here's the Adam Hogue tweet. Bears fourth quarter win probabilities. 2023 versus Denver, 98-1. 23 at Detroit, 98-2. 23 at Cleveland, 91. 24 at Washington, 96.4%. They lost all 4 of those games. All 4. By the way, if you win 2 out of those 3 last year, 2 of the 3 where you had a 91% or higher, 2 of which you had 98% or higher, you're in the playoffs. They're a 9-8 football team. This year, I'm telling you, this game's going to cost them.
But there is no level of accountability from the coach. None. No level of accountability. And that's what's so irritating. It's revolting, to be honest with you.
Dave, opening media, today's opening meeting. Good morning, gentlemen. We're the laughing stock of the NFL. No, they're not saying that. Now, the players understand what's going on. They watch the stuff. They understand the noise. It's a bad loss, man. You got how they picked themselves up, how they're coached this week. At Arizona is not a gimme.
Oh, hell no. The Bears are underdogs.
Well, they should be. I mean, Arizona's an interesting team. That's turned into, I'm not a big must win. This is a must win. I'm not a big labeling must wins until you have to get late in the year and go, okay, you have to win 3 or 4. Those are must wins. But
look at their schedule.
I know. I will go over it right now. And keep the comments coming. We're gonna go quick here because we have some stuff to do with some Bears players. But I'll pull up their schedule, Cap. It's not easy. And the division.
No,
it's the division here. I pulled it up earlier. They have a must win. I always forget about the Patriots game. They get the Patriots after the Cardinals this week. Okay.
And the Patriots have been playing decent football.
They won a football game yesterday.
They did.
So, yeah, well, they're well coached. It's funny when that happens. When you're well coached, you do things people don't expect.
So irritating, man. So freaking irritating.
So but the Patriots at home are a must win. Come on. And who knows if Drake May's going to even be playing in that game, right? I mean, he got concussed yesterday. You have at Arizona, home against New England, and then this is where it gets ugly. Home against Green Bay, home against Minnesota, at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota. Those versus Detroit, versus Seattle, at Green Bay. Okay, well.
You should be, and this is not me just putting on blinders, you should be 6-1 right now.
I said that. If
you told me, all right, they're 5-2, but they learned from the Indianapolis loss, I'd begrudgingly okay. You learned shit. That's the truth. You learned shit. You ran that ridiculous play on 4th down in Indy. We won't do that again. Really? Because you handed it to Doug Kramer. How'd that work out for you?
Amen. I'm telling you, they're trying to turn something. They're trying to tell us something that we all know that that's what they're trying to make us believe in. Like this Doug Kramer is some gadget play. Dude, this is a play that people have been doing for 40 years. Putting a D tackle or offensive tackle at fullback and lining up and blasting the hole to get in a 1-yard touchdown. Here's the cute sneak. It's 34-14. Let's get Doug Kramer a handoff. Not when you're down.
Right. Hey,
12-7.
Get him a touchdown.
This is not it is literally. Yeah, that was not static. That was just, so it's going to be fun, Cap? Tomorrow we have Felco Football Live at Hooters and Downers Grove.
Yeah, can't wait. We got Alex Brown in for Olin because he's coaching.
Yeah.
And we have Tommy Waddle.
Right. Which is going to be fun no matter what. But the fact that the 3 of you are going to break this game down there, I'd say call for reservations, folks, because packed house.
Hooters, Downers Grove, and Alex and Tommy always take pictures and sign autographs. We'll have a good time. So come on out and see us, eat some awesome food, and we'll have a great time. 99%
of the time, I will talk White Sox content with you fine folks on the recap lunch hour. I don't know.
We're going to bring a little bit of that in. A little bit.
Well, today there's nothing else to talk about. The White Sox still don't have a manager. Names were brought up over the weekend about who's in and who's out. But even Brian Anderson, my fine co-host now, right? He said, could he call in today at 11:45 here on the lunch hour to rant? He had a great, I'm going to play. I wonder if he'll be here. This is actually good. I'm going to play this audio on here because he's dead on. Actually, the audio disappeared. It was an audio message. But he said, can you imagine if I was in Minnesota taunting the fans in the 9th inning and there was 2 outs and the bases were loaded and I'm looking around doing this in left center field and the ball's hitting the air and I realize the ball's in the air and it drops in front of me. He goes, I'd be sent down, released, killed by my own front office and manager because what I just cost the team. He goes, to me, this is no different. And he's right. Like he would have been sent down immediately after the game. So it's all that we're all talking about. It sucks. Check out Cap's recap from yesterday. That thing is, that's out there. That's alive. It's a 212 degrees. It's at boiling temperature. It's there for you. We'll have a new episode of Intercepted with Kevin Byard that'll drop late tonight, certainly early tomorrow morning. we have the Hooters show tomorrow. Feldco football recap live from Hooters and Downers Grove. Make sure you call or show up. Come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. The whole crew will be out there. We have plenty to discuss after this catastrophic 18-15 loss. They play at Arizona on Sunday. It's going to be hard to pick up the pieces in the next couple of days, but we don't have to do it. They do.
That's exactly right. It's an honor to be on the Ryan McGuffey show, baby. Take that.